Monday, the 2nd of March has been a fairly interesting day in the energy markets, and we thought it would be useful to, I guess, just share our thoughts with people. We work with lots of associations, and people sort of see us as providing, hopefully, fairly well-rounded advice. So, headlines, Rich. Where are we in terms of wholesale markets?
The headlines are obviously we've seen two big price increases. First one when the markets opened this morning on the back of the attacks from the US into Iran. And then the second one this afternoon when it became clear that Qatar had ceased production of natural gas. But then to context, it's the same amount of natural gas that the Europe used to take from Russia. They're very similar volumes, although there was probably very little chance of that gas being transported through the Strait of Hormuz. The fact that it's or that Qatar has ceased production has sent shocks through the market, and we've seen some big increases.
Yeah. See more of an increase on gas over power, and we see more of an increase on that ripple effect, isn't it? That's the ripple effect. So contracts or people who've got exposure in the short term are more impacted than people with contracts.
Absolutely, yes. So seeing the bigger increases on gas compared to power, although both have increased, they are still very much linked. And you are right, it's very much affecting the front month contracts and the near term contracts. So we're seeing over 100 pence per therm on gas for April starts, or I should say the month of April, May and June, and even into the courses, the beginning courses and front seasons, we're seeing those prices creep up to that 100 pence per therm mark. So yeah, some big shocks and some big prices, considering the back end of the curve is looking closer to 50 pence per therm. So big differences now.
Yeah, I mean, we've been here before, had these conversations a fair few times, and I think our position remains how it always is in these kind of scenarios, in that unless you have an absolute need to be buying energy or contracting volume now, the best thing that you can do is just sit on your hands. And one thing that we are very, very clear on, and I think one of the reasons why, like I say, I hope people value our advice, particularly on the trade associations that we work with, is that, and there'll be plenty of energy brokers and consultants out there banging the phones today, telling people that they've got to sign contracts now, otherwise it's going up 50% or 100%, pick a number like it did with Russia, Ukraine. So I think people will value our view that actually the best thing you can do is probably do nothing for now.
Absolutely. And the biggest mistakes we saw from Russia, Ukraine were those people who did panic and sign long-term contracts at extremely high prices because they were told in no uncertain terms the market would only ever go one way and we would never come back to where we were. So absolutely, time to, unless you have to move, the time to just take a step back, have a look to see how things progress. The timelines at the moment are suggested around 4 weeks before the US complete all of their campaign strategies. Ultimately, they're looking for a change of regime, which may take longer overall. But if the Strait of Hormuz opens and it's more stable, and we see Qatar producing gas again, then we could see the markets start to recover once that happens.
Yeah. Okay. Super. And I think just the final point that our doors are always metaphorically open, and our phones are always on to take calls and have conversations with people. People should not be felt like they're backed into a corner to make a rash decision. So anybody who's seeing this, whether it's client, prospect, whether it's one of the many trade associations that we work with and support, or people who refer business to us, I think the underarching message is it is pretty crazy out there, but just buy yourself some time and make sure that the advice that you're getting is well-rounded and timely advice. And we're always happy to engage and have a conversation.
Absolutely, we're here to chat and talk through what's going on, possible effects, and we can walk you through scenarios for your specific situations as well.